Bella Vista Community Television presents Bella Vista and Beyond. Today our host is Nancy Noyes, and we will be talking about yoga. And now to the studio for our program.
Welcome to Bella Vista and Beyond. I'm Nancy Noyes. Yoga, what is it? Is it a religion or perhaps a cult? Or maybe it's something altogether different. Here to discuss this important topic with us is Kat McGowan, a certified yoga instructor and owner of the new Yoga and Reiki School. Welcome, Kat. We're so glad to have you with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So tell us exactly, what is yoga?
Well, yoga, in the Sanskrit meaning, it means to yoke, unify. So it's basically unification. So yoga is a practice of physical, mind, and spiritual. So you're combining all three, and that's what you're unifying. So a lot of people focus on the actual yoga, like the movements and the exercise, but it's much more than that.
I understand that you have a number of yoga certifications. Could you tell us about those?
Yes, I am a 200-hour Yoga Alliance Baptiste Power Yoga certified yoga teacher, as well as 200 hours in restorative yoga, and I'm working towards my 500-hour certification.
Wow, that's impressive.
And I'm also a Reiki master and an animal Reiki master.
Interesting. So, is yoga a religion?
No, absolutely not. It is a philosophy and a code of ethics that goes alongside with any religion. So if you're Christian, it goes right alongside with your 10 Commandments. And the code of ethics is anything from just being truthful and honest to accepting things, right? So there's surrender, accepting what is, right? So a lot of that goes along with whatever religion. And all of it is positive messaging, being kind, being compassionate, understanding of others, and practicing self-love and self-care.
That sounds really great. So, what are some of the benefits of practicing yoga?
There's so many. So physically, it can help you relax. That's the big one. The actual practice of yoga involves a lot of breath work and the movement. So it's really kind of like moving meditation is the exercise form. And what that does is trigger your parasympathetic system, which is your relaxation response system. And that's why people, when they practice yoga, they walk out feeling 1,000 times better versus going to an aerobics class or a biking class, or it's just a different set of physical and neurological kind of scientific medical things that are occurring when you're doing yoga. So if you suffer from depression or sleep disorders or extreme stress from a job or anxiety, practicing yoga can help that. So what it does is triggers that relaxation response through breath and movement, and it also changes your neurological, like what's going on in your brain chemistry. So it raises serotonin levels, raises melatonin levels. That's why most people sleep better at night after they've practiced yoga.
Very interesting.
Yeah, the other benefits is also you just feel better about yourself. So it's not just the practice on the mat. A lot of people focus on just the exercises, right? Like, oh, I got to bend like a pretzel, and that's not the case. The practice is the least important part of it, the physical practice. The big part of it is starting to change your perception and perspective around the world around you and about yourself. That's what makes yoga really wonderful and powerful as a practice.
Well, so are there any disadvantages to practicing yoga?
There are if you're not careful. So if you're practicing yoga at a different level that is not your level or your capabilities, you can be injured. You can do serious damage to your body. If you try to do certain poses without warming up your body, you can injure yourself as well. So it's knowing your body and not kind of removing your ego, right? Because sometimes we get stubborn and say, well, I'm going to try that. And then you injure yourself. So it's really baby steps to getting to where you want to go in your practice as far as the physical practice. So unless you're a gymnast or lifelong dancer, you're really not going to be able to do any of the bendy, fancy yoga stuff that everyone thinks about when they think of yoga. The range of practice and variety of yoga is so vast, and it's for any shape, body type, age. You know, I have an 80-year-old male client who does chair yoga with me, and he's suffered a stroke. Then I've got young 20-something-year-olds who are into power yoga and heat, and they want to move and do all the moves and be fast, you know. So there's a wide range of types of yoga.
I see. Well, I've heard of hot yoga. Tell us about that.
Hot yoga, it's mostly a kind of a Western fad. I mean, it was introduced in the 1970s. It was known as called Bikram yoga. So the idea is to heat a room up in high temperatures to kind of help protect the body, because it's your body's already instantly warm, so it loosens the muscles. So when you're like, it's just like when you injure yourself, you put a heat pad on, or if you're strained a muscle right after you've iced and the inflammation's gone, you put the heat pad on to kind of relax the muscle. So that's the same concept, but you're doing your whole body, so that when you go into a yoga practice, you can move and be a little bit more bendy. And also the idea behind it is to release toxins. So it's like going into like a sweat lodge, right? You sweat all the water weight out while you're practicing yoga at a kind of a quickened speed. That's how it's done here in the US most of the time. It's more of like an exercise fad, not traditional yoga.
Well, how about goat yoga?
Goat yoga. I always laugh because it's kind of silly, right? People are like, goat yoga, what is that? It is kind of silly. I've never done it myself. I'd love to try it. The idea is just to go practice yoga amongst baby goats. They never do full-grown goats. They usually graduate and move on to the pasture, I believe. But I think it's just an experience, just to experience yoga with goats, which I really don't quite understand the concept. But I'm going to go try it, and I'll come back and tell you about it.
Do the goats actually get on your body?
Yeah, sometimes they climb on you, they lick you, they'll poop right in front of you. I don't know. It's just that's a concept I don't quite understand, but.
I understand that you're opening the new Firefly Yoga and Reiki studio. Tell us about that. Yes, I'm really excited. So I'm opening up a yoga studio plus a Reiki school here in Bella Vista. It's the first yoga studio ever to be open here, which is kind of exciting. Yeah, my goal was to bring yoga to the community and to share what I know. Yoga has been a great benefit to my life, just with everything I've gone through, and I suffer from depression, I suffer from anxiety and stress. I've had PTSD before, and it's just greatly helped me. And I wake up happier every day just because of doing the practice and living the code of ethics. Well, I understand your yoga and Reiki studio is under construction. Talk a little bit about it. Yes, so I was originally supposed to open in September, but due to COVID and the building supplies and the crazy building here in Northwest Arkansas, we're backed up. So we're going to open in October. I don't have a date yet, but if you go to the website, you'll be able to find out the dates for that. Yes, so I am opening a yoga studio here in town, and it's in the process of being built. I'm in the plaza of El Pueblito and Belis Burgers. Way in the back, we have a nice view of the trees, and in the backyard, we have a nice view of the fire department. Sounds great, really does. Well, so how did you start practicing yoga, and what makes you so passionate about it? Well, yoga, I was curious, right? So in my 20s, I was very hyperactive. I had no interest. I thought, I can't do yoga. I'm not bendy. I'm not flexible. I can't sit still to meditate. And then through encouragement and friends, they said, just try it, just try it. And at that time, I was suffering from depression and anxiety, battling that. And the normal route of therapy and meds didn't quite help me. So I went and tried it at the gym, like most people do. They'll try it at a gym or a free class. And I just started to take to it. It made me physically feel better because I've had some lower back injuries and some car accidents. And I noticed that those pains started to alleviate. I didn't have back issues. I started going to the chiropractor less. I didn't need to take Advil like every other night for the pain. And then also mentally and emotionally, I just felt better. More relaxed, more happy, and I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, why do I feel so good doing yoga? Because I liked going to the gym. I would go to, biking class and hike and walk, and I got curious.
So then I started to pursue it more. When I moved here to Northwest Arkansas 3.5 years ago, you know, I was newly divorced. I didn't know anybody. I had one friend here, and I was like, I need a new career. So for the longest time, for all the 20 years that I practiced yoga on and off, I'm like, I think it's time now. I want to know why. Why does yoga make me feel so good? I'm going to go find out. So that's when I got certified and became a yoga instructor. And it's changed my life. I just want to share what I've learned and how it's helped me and hopefully help others. Now, with that said, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. It's interesting how a lot of clients will come and tell me all of their medical or emotional problems. Yoga and Reiki is supplemental. It's not a cure-all. So it's supplemental to whatever your medical doctor, or professional, or therapist, or psychologist. You combine that as supplemental with that to help further your healing and assist your healing.
Wow, that's really quite something. So you are a certified yoga instructor and also a Reiki master. Tell us about Reiki. What is that?
Yes, Reiki is a Japanese hands-on healing energy system. First off, in Western culture and medicine, we only deal with the physical body, right? We walk into the doctor's office, they kind of poke and prod and listen to you. They check your blood and your urine, right? They focus on the physical body. Now, in Eastern cultures, in India and in China, dating way back from early centuries, like starting, I don't know, maybe 10th century, predating Christ, they believe that we have a physical body and an energetic body. So we have the physical body that we touch, and then we have an energetic body that's kind of just energy. Reiki helps promote healing that energy and balancing that energy. Now, Rei means life. Ki means force. No, I think I got that confused. Yes, Rei means life, Ki means force or energy. So, so combining that, it's Reiki. So it's life energy that it's being healed. In the Chinese culture, most people watch kung fu movies, right? You hear the word qi a lot. They start breathing and focusing on the qi. That's what they call that. And in yoga, in the Hindi way, it's the chakras. So the chakras line our body from head to our bottom of our pelvis. So that's what that is. And people are also questioning what energy is, right? Some people are like, well, I don't believe in that. That sounds like a bunch of hoodoo voodoo. But it's really simple to explain. So when you encounter somebody the first time, right, when we first meet somebody, sometimes we have this deep connection when we meet them, right? We can't explain it. We just click, we vibe. I've never known this person before, but I feel like I can trust them. That's energy, right? Also, we've met people where on an instant we meet them, they look cleaned up, they're good looking, they're charming, but something in your gut feels off. Like my skin kind of crawls, my gut's saying, I need to be careful of this person. You're reading energy, right? Same thing with it. I don't know if you've ever sat in a room, you're reading a book or you're watching television or you're working on your computer and you feel somebody enter the room. We don't have eyes in the back of our head, right? But we feel somebody else's presence. That's reading energy.
So is massage a part of the Reiki discipline?
Massage is something totally separate from Reiki. So some masseuses are trained in Reiki, so they'll combine the two, but it's two totally different things.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that your studio will be open sometime in October. Let's take a look at some of the pictures.
Okay.
And explain what that is.
That is my future office right there. That's the back area. We'll have a Reiki massage room and a dressing area. This is the main studio. There's a window looking out into the trees. The front window is going to be a mirrored window to see in the front. I'm standing in the doorway entering into the studio, and you see the stuffing there. They're soundproofing the space. And there's our front door.
How did you choose the name Firefly for your yoga studio and Reiki school?
Well, Firefly, a lot of people have already assumed that I went after the lightning bug, and that's actually not the case. Number one, fire is kind of what fuels me, like the energy of fire. I'm driven by passion, and I never give up hope, and I'm always reinventing myself and pursuing knowledge. So that's where that comes from, fire. Also, to share, like spreading embers, right? The way fire spreads is sharing that information and knowledge of what yoga's done for me, to share that with as many people as I can here in the Bella Vista community. And the fly is once you're ignited, right? Once your passion's ignited, your vitality is ignited, you tend to fly. Endless possibilities, and that's a big part of who I am and what the studio is about, is to ignite your passion, ignite your soul, and to spread your wings and fly. I meet a lot of older clients here, over 50, over 65, and sometimes like their energy's low. They feel like I've lived all this way and I've gotten to this point. And they feel like their life's kind of over, right? They're kind of coasting through. They've been in a marriage for 40, 50 years, and both people have become like the furniture. Like, you're laughing because you can relate, right? Your kids are all grown, you've got grandbabies, but they live far away. They don't have time for you all the time. There's that kind of almost like pausing on life. And my message to these people is life is just beginning. It's a whole new chapter at a different phase in your life. It doesn't have to be status quo. I wake up, have my coffee, and not talk to my husband, and watch the TV and watch the news, right? So it's come be active, write the next chapter. That's Excellent. What that is. It's fire and fly. It's passion and igniting.
Wonderful. I love that definition. Well, I know there are many kinds of yoga, so when we get back, let's start with traditional yoga, and you can put me through some of your moves. But remember, I'm a beginner, so I'm not going to be able to do that much. So stay tuned with us at this time.
We will be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Here is our host, Nancy.
Hello. Now it's the portion of our show where we're actually going to get to do some yoga, and you can see how easy and fun it is. We're not going to try to do too much because I'm a beginner. So here's Kat.
So what we're going to first do, Nancy, is I'm going to sample a little bit of vinyasa flow, what traditional yoga is.
Okay.
And we'll just do sun salutation A and B, and that's what most people know as vinyasa flow. And then we'll come to you and introduce some restorative yoga.
Okay.
Okay? So that's your sun A and sun B.
I noticed that you were breathing deeply as you were going through your poses.
Yes.
So that seems to be important.
Yes, the breath matched with the movement is very important. When to breathe in, when to exhale. So a good vinyasa teacher is going to call breath as he or she calls the poses. So we usually say, rise up, breathe in, exhale, drop forwards. So yes, it's very important. Good
Very
observation. Good. I'd love to have you try some restorative yoga.
Okay.
Are you willing to do that?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Great. I'm going to have you turn your body that way. Stay seated for a minute. I'm going to place you. So restorative yoga, Nancy, is all used on the mat, used with props, and we're going to allow gravity to do the work.
Okay.
So it's extremely relaxing. So a lot of people say, well, I'm not bendy, I can't do yoga. Well, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. This is yoga, what we're doing here.
Okay.
And we're going to let the props and gravity do the work. So we have a bolster, which is used for different positions. I'm going to place this right behind your back. I'm going to take one block. Before you lean back, hold on.
Okay.
And 2 blocks is going to help hold. Can you scoot up just a little bit? It's going to hold the bolster. Go up forwards a little bit more. Good. Now I want you to lean all the way back. Good. Bend your knees. Good. Drop knees to the opposite sides. So you're going to make a butterfly. Bring your feet together. Yes. And then we're going to prop your knees with blocks. Good. How does that feel?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Does it feel comfortable?
Yes, it does.
And then I'm going to take this and prop your neck. Lift your head up for me. Good. And bring it down. Good. Is that right on your neck? How does it feel? Place your head back. Good. And then I'm going to tuck you in so you're like in a little crate. Then I'm going to place a blanket on you. So this position right here before I place the blanket on you is called Supta Baddha Konasana, but you're propped up and restorative. Normally we would do this on the mat, but how does that feel?
Feels great.
You feel really comfy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's also a great position for if you're pregnant, because you can still do yoga when you're pregnant, but only certain specific poses, so mommy and baby are safe.
Great.
We place the blankets on you so that it protects it gives the body a sensation that your extremities are protected, so that extra weight helps the body further relax. So gravity is holding you down right now, and the props are holding you up. So you can just relax.
What should I do with my arms?
You just relax them to place them wherever you want that's comfortable.
Okay.
You can go in your lap, on the side. And then we usually cover the eyes. So in restorative yoga, we will stay and hold this position for 15 minutes, sometimes 10 to 15. Oh, I just slipped. Sometimes 10 to 15 minutes, and you would stay in this position. You would allow gravity to kind of just do the work. So what this is doing is stretching out this part of her. It's triggering her parasympathetic response system to relax as she just lays there in this position. Now we don't have all that time to let you stay 15 minutes, so I'm going to move you out of this position and into another position.
Now, when you say restorative yoga, what is it restoring?
Your body in a really gentle way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's called restorative. So restorative yoga, people who have gone through chemo, they're healing from injury. If they are not so flexible, they've got a lot of mobility issues, extreme stress. Restorative yoga is wonderful for that. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have you sit up. I'm going to put you in a different position. Okay, I'm going to have you lean back. I'm going to place this block, go nice and slow. I'm going to place this block right underneath you. You need to drop your head. You might need to move up again, come back down.
What about this?
Come back down. Okay. How's that feel in your back?
Not good.
Okay, so you need to shift it either further down.
Where should it be? Under the...
It just depends on your
small of
body
the
and your
back?
spine. It's going to be different for every person. So just lay back. We're going to have to play with it a few times until
better.
it feels good. Does that feel good?
Yes.
Good. Now turn open your hands, palms up, so your shoulders turn outward. Yeah. There you go. Spread your legs just a little bit and tell me how that feels.
It feels fine.
So now you're in fish pose, but this is restorative and you're fully supported by the blocks. What this is doing is opening up the pecs. It's spreading the spine, so it's opening up the spine. So this is a great position, so if you work at a desk all day, you're hunched over, this actually opens up the spine and the chest and releases your pecs
I
from
see.
being hunched over all day.
That's good.
It is good. You would stay here again from 5, 10, 15 minutes. This is a great position to do at home because all you need is 2 blocks.
Where can you get the blocks?
You can get them on Amazon. I'm a firm believer of not spending a lot of money on yoga equipment or yoga clothing. You can get blocks at Walmart. You can get blocks at Ross or TJ Maxx. You do not need expensive equipment or fancy name brand equipment to practice yoga. And how does that feel?
Feels great. I can feel it opening my body, kind of.
Right. And it's also spreading the upper spine. It's creating space.
Yes.
And just sit and breathe and shut your eyes. Excellent. Now blink your eyes open. And now I want to ask you to gently, now coming out of this position, you want to be very slow and gentle to prevent injury. So what we're going to do is gently roll over to the side into fetal position. I'm going to remove the blocks. Just going to roll to one side. There you go. Yeah. Excellent.
Okay.
We will do another position. Lay back onto your back. Good. Keep your knees bent for me just for a second. Feet down just for a second. I'm gonna set up the bolster. Not yet. Not yet. Good. Okay. Now you're gonna place your legs onto the bolster. There we go. Lay back. So this is a version of leg up the wall. So usually if there was a wall here, you could place your legs up on a wall. We're going to do legs up a bolster. This position is really great for headaches, anxiety. What it's doing is just bringing the blood to flow downwards. It's a very relaxing position to be in. I'm placing the strap over your ankles to further help relax because this way you're not trying to keep your legs up. The strap's going to help hold your legs up so that you can further relax. And again, I'm going to cover your eyes. I'm going to take a
Why do you
blanket
cover the eyes?
to help promote relaxation, because when you take away sight, you start to relax. Lift your head for me, please. And again, I'm going to put you in that little egg crate. There you go. And I'm going to place your hands on these blocks. There you go. Place another blanket on you. Again, to cover the extremities, to promote relaxation. Another position, you would stay 5 to 15 minutes. How does that feel?
Feels wonderful.
So it's legs up a bolster. And then we will move you one last time into Shavasana, which is how we end all yoga classes. Shavasana is corpse pose. The idea is to surrender. That is the whole point of that pose.
How long is each yoga class?
It can be 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes 90 minutes. It just depends on what classes are offered.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to stay there. We're going to move you into Shavasana, which is just sticking your legs over. Go ahead and lay down your legs. Should be going right underneath your knees. Good. So in Shavasana, you would just lay on the mat completely flat without all the props. In restorative yoga, you have all your props. And this is your final resting pose, finishing yoga. have your crash course in restorative yoga and Shavasana.
Great.
So I hope to see the Bella Vista community show up for the opening of Firefly Yoga and come in and try a little restorative yoga or traditional yoga.
I know I will.
You can come on up. I messed up your hair.
That's okay.
There you go.
All right.
Well, thank you for being my guinea pig and showing the audience what restorative yoga is, because a lot of people are unaware.
Well, that certainly was fun, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you for being here today, Kat.
Thank you so much for having me.
For Bella Vista and Beyond, I'm Nancy Noyes.
Remember, you can see this program on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at various times. You may also view this program on YouTube.com by going to Bella Vista Community TV. This has been a program presented by the Bella Vista Community Television. Thank you for joining us.